What's happening, guys? July 2020 will go down as one of the weirdest, drama-filled, unforgettable sporting months in history. The NHL, NBA, and MLB seasons were all delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but all three leagues managed to restart play in July, giving sports fans plenty to get excited about during an otherwise difficult and depressing year around the globe. But aside from the returns of hockey, baseball, and basketball, there are plenty of other strange developments in the sporting world. Here are just 10 of the weirdest sports stories from the month of July 2020. Number 10, old Mike Tyson agrees to fight old Roy Jones Jr. Boxing legend Mike Tyson has been retired since 2005. His last fight was a loss to Kevin McBride on June 11, 2005. At the time, LeBron James had just finished his sophomore year. George W. Bush was president. Batman Begins was only about to hit theaters. You get it. Tyson's last fight was a long time ago. Well, 15 years after his last fight, Tyson agreed to come out of retirement and face Roy Jones Jr. The date? November 28th. The place? Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Yeah, that's right. The 54-year-old Tyson is ending a 15-year retirement to face off a 51-year-old Jones in an exhibition match. Jones had pushed hard for a match against the boxing icon, and Tyson finally agreed to it, regardless of how good or bad the match is. It's exciting to have Tyson back in the ring for what should be the final fight of his illustrious career. 2020 has been so weird, so I guess it makes sense for a couple of 50-year-olds to step back in the ring and punch each other as millions look on. Just sit back and grab some popcorn, because Tyson's back. Number 9, Adrian Wojnarowski, Woj bombs Missouri senator. There are countless polarizing sports journalists, reporters, commentators, and analysts out there. Take me, for example. But everybody, and I mean everybody, admires and respects ESPN's NBA reporter, Adrian Wojnarowski. He is to the NBA world what Adam Schefter is to the NFL, and what Ken Rosenthal is to the MLB. Everybody is glued to Wojnarowski's Twitter timeline during the NBA trade deadline, as well as the early phases of free agency. He is the guy for breaking major NBA news, trades, free agent signings, and so on. His scoops are referred to as Woj bombs for a reason. Usually reporters with a platform as big as Wojnarowski can get away with the odd expletive or political statement. But in July, Wojnarowski got himself into trouble when he sent an unpleasant email to Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley. Hawley sent an email to Commissioner Adam Silver regarding the league's business relationship with China. Woj saw the email and responded with a simple "F you" to Hawley, who posted a screenshot of it on Twitter. ESPN briefly suspended Wojnarowski, who took to Twitter to apologize for his words. #FreeWoj began trending on Twitter, and he received support from several marquee players, including LeBron James, Jamal Murray, and Lou Williams. You don't usually see a prominent sports reporter get suspended for an expletive email towards a senator. So July 2020 was a weird month. Number 8, J.R. Smith badmouths NBA bubble on Instagram Live. Veteran NBA guard J.R. Smith is no stranger to controversy. How many guys get suspended by their own team for throwing soup at a coach? Following a 4-month hiatus, the NBA was able to resume the 2019-20 campaign in the Orlando, Florida bubble in July. 22 teams returned to play. But honestly, what's a season resumption without a little J.R. Smith controversy? After the Lakers entered the Orlando bubble, Smith took to Instagram Live to showcase his team's temporary home. He proceeded to go on an expletive-filled rant about pretty much everything in the bubble, including the hotel, the blankets, and the food. Near the end of the video, Smith said he received a text and was ordered to shut down the live feed for, quote, exposing too much shit. He ended it with, "my bad." And that was the end of that. Yes, JR, we know a bubble isn't the easiest world to live in right now, but you knew what the players signed up for when the league finalized the return to play format. Number 7, the Toronto Blue Jays can't find a home. Unlike the NBA and the NHL, Major League Baseball decided not to institute a bubble for its 2020 season. Instead, they have all 30 teams playing home games at empty ballparks with strict safety and security measures in place. The Canada-US border has been closed for non-essential travel during the COVID-19 pandemic, but the Toronto Blue Jays worked extensively to receive approval to play their home games at the Rodgers Center. The Ontario provincial government gave the Jays the thumbs up to play their home games in Toronto, but the federal government said no just before the start of the season. With that, Canada's only MLB team was left scrambling to find a new home. And quickly. PNC Park, the home of the Pittsburgh Pirates, was a top candidate to serve as Toronto's home venue, but Pennsylvania authorities wouldn't allow it, so the Jays had to move on to Plan C. Finally, they were given approval to play their games at Solon Field, home of the Buffalo Bisons, their AAA affiliate. And so Canada's team game will be at home in the United States. They also had to play 2 of their home games against the Washington Nationals at Nationals Park. That's right, the Nats were visitors in their own stadium, and that's 2020 for you. The Toronto Blue Jays are now the Buffalo/Washington Blue Jays, or whatever you want to call them this year. Doesn't really matter. Number 6, Jordan Love's selection made Aaron Rodgers drink tequila. The NFL was shocked when the Green Bay Packers traded up to draft Utah State quarterback Jordan Love with the number 26 selection. For one, the Packers already have an elite quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. Hashtag my knee. Also, this pick came 2 years after they signed Rodgers to a 4-year, $134 million extension. Fresh off an NFC Championship game appearance, Green Bay chose to build for the future rather than try to win now with Rodgers. Speaking to Kyle Brandt on the Ringer podcast, Rodgers admitted he perked up when the Packers drafted Love. In fact, Rodgers admitted that the draft pick caused him to down some tequila as he tried to process the stunning evening. I love scotch, but I've been drinking some sipping tequila as well. Once I got the text, I went to the pantry, I poured myself about 4 fingers, and I knew it was going to be one of those nights where people were going to start calling and there was going to be the, hey, is everything fine? You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Like I said, I wasn't elated by the pick, especially being 1 game away from the Super Bowl and feeling like we're a couple players away. But at the same time, I understand it's a business. You know you upset your franchise star when you force him to drink tequila to down the pain. Way to go, Packers. Number 5, Jamal Adams Jets drama ends with trade to Seahawks. During his 3 seasons with the New York Jets, All-Pro safety Jamal Adams praised the locker room and culture of the team. Adams looked poised to stick around with the Jets long-term as a franchise building block, a guy who would eventually turn this long-term losing team into a winner. But as the 2020 season drew closer, Adams got fed up with the Jets' refusal to give him a new contract. Of course, the Jets had no reason to rush on a new deal, since Adams was under contract throughout 2021. A frustrated Adams finally requested a trade, and when it didn't happen right away, he began calling out head coach Adam Gase and owner Woody Johnson, who was hit with allegations of racist and sexist comments. The Jets finally gave in and traded Adams plus a 2022 4th rounder to the Seattle Seahawks, receiving a giant package of 2021 and 2022 first-round picks, as well as safety Bradley McDougald and a 2021 3rd rounder. Adams was supposed to be a Jet long-term. He wanted to be part of the solution. Suddenly, he wanted a new contract. But rather than play hardball, the dysfunctional football team gave in and traded away their best player in years. So what a weird and unexpected saga this turned out to be. Jets. Number 4, Antonio Brown says he's retired, then asked to play again. Off-the-field troubles limited Antonio Brown to a 1-game stint with the New England Patriots in 2019. He went unsigned for the remainder of the season. Brown worked extensively to improve his mental health, while also training for a hopeful comeback in 2020. But rather unexpectedly, I mean it wasn't that unexpected, it's Antonio Brown. He's like the Kanye of the NFL. He claimed that he was retiring from football again, citing that the risk was greater than the reward. Yeah, definitely. But just 2 days after tweeting out his apparent retirement, the receiver took to Instagram and pleaded with the NFL to let him play again. In a lengthy post, Brown said he complied with the league's investigations and that he was seeing a therapist, determined to get better. AB, we understand that you want to play football again, but what's the point of threatening retirement over and over again? How are teams supposed to take you seriously? You clearly want to play, so stop with the retirement games. Like, are you chasing clout? Are you unsure of yourself? Maybe some more therapy will help. Therapy is good. Therapy is a beautiful thing. I think you should do it. Keep doing it. Forever. But, you know, gotta really make up your mind here, bud. Just saying. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Number 3, Joe Kelly retaliates against Astros. Chaos ensues. I love this moment. This is my favorite moment of July, especially if you're a pretty big MLB fan and you're not an Astros fan, it's even better. Everybody knew what was coming to the Houston Astros when the MLB's investigation determined that the Astros stole signs and completely cheated their way to a 2017 World Series championship. These guys became the new villain of Major League Baseball. Astros players were getting hit by pitches at alarming rates in spring training, as many had expected. In February, manager Dusty Baker even pleaded with the league to protect his players from such retaliation. Anyway, the first form of retaliation during the regular season came in July, courtesy of Los Angeles Dodgers reliever Joe Kelly. Kelly was on the 2017 Boston Red Sox team that lost to the cheating Astros in the ALDS. Kelly's current team also lost the 2017 World Series to Houston, so the pitcher went to great lengths to get some revenge. And honestly, I don't think there's a more deserving person that should get revenge than Joe Kelly. And honestly, he's kind of a hero. It nearly led to an all-out brawl in a season where social distancing was being heavily authorized.
2 for 2 tonight. Look out to get out of the inning. Oh, Joe Kelly. Benches have cleared.
Kelly was suspended 8 games for the incident, but much of the baseball world actually applauded him as a hero. My friends and I were about to buy tickets to an Astros game to either play the Mets or Yankees to boo at them. Needless to say, the Astros should brace themselves for more of this. Kelly wasn't the first to do it, and he won't be the last. And honestly, what did the MLB expect? They cheated in the World Series. People have spent their entire life fighting for that moment, handling their own issues, their families, their workout programs, everything, making sure they don't get injured just so they can have a chance at the World Series. And then you're gonna go and cheat just so you can get there? Ugh. No one should be physically harmed, obviously. But for this video's sake, Joe Kelly, I don't blame him. If there's anyone who should be hitting people with pitches because they cheated in the World Series, messing with someone's entire livelihood, yeah. Cheers, sir. Number 2, Washington's NFL team name is Washington Football Team. After decades and decades of controversy, DC's NFL team finally decided to change its name. Owner Dan Snyder, who continually refused to do so, was backed into a corner when major sponsors Nike, FedEx, and PepsiCo demanded the change. Nike even removed Washington NFL merchandise from their website in order to pressure Snyder to make the move. And it worked. Dan Snyder. Rather than come up with a new team name immediately, the organization announced that they will simply go by the Washington Football Team for 2020. That's it. That's their name. No Red Wolves or Red Birds or Red Tails or Pigskins or Americans, just Football Team. All right then, go Washington Football Team. I mean, I guess you gotta take your time. You wanna make sure you get it right. Don't offend anyone, because it was definitely your choice to do this, not the pressure of the entire world on you. Dan Snyder. Number 1, Lou Williams excused for visiting a strip club. Los Angeles Clippers guard Lou Williams was excused from the NBA's Orlando City bubble in order to attend a funeral in Atlanta. The 3-time 6th Man of the Year winner was later spotted at the Magic City strip club in Atlanta. Rapper Jack Harlow posted a video on social media of him and Williams together, which broke the latter's cover. Williams took to Twitter and claimed that he wasn't going there for a good time, but rather for the food. Yo, if you're going to a strip club for the food, you got a problem. And also, that's like the worst excuse you could tell your wife or girlfriend. Like, what were you doing at a strip club? I was there for the food, babe. Like, you kidding me? Get out of here. Some fans even defended Williams and backed up his claim, as the Gentlemen's Club is known for having some rather delicious food. Okay, sure, the food. And they even named one of their wings flavors after Lou. As such, Williams was ordered to quarantine for 10 days following the strip club visit. Dude, come on. Yeah, July 2020 was a wacky and strange month for sports. Oh, God. What do you think was the weirdest sports story of July? Join us in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, we're on everything. Go find us. Go subscribe. It'll be the best decision you've made your entire life, as well as subscribing down below to TPS, because we post sports content every day. Of course, if you like this video, give it a like. It takes one click down below. And of course, thanks for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. Dan Snyder.
My knee.